When you think about it, modern education is kind of like a really complex puzzle, right? It's not just about cramming facts anymore. We're trying to build a certain type of person, someone who's curious, capable, and, compassionate. And just like any great puzzle, there are these essential pieces that have to click together just right. So let's dive in.
And here they are. These are the 5 essential elements of the International Baccalaureate's Primary Years Program, or PYP for short. Just think of them as the core pieces of our educational puzzle. Today, we're going to put this whole thing together, piece by piece, and really see the big picture of what it takes to build a truly modern learner.
So here's how we'll break it down. We'll start with a quick look at all 5 elements. Then we'll dig into each one: concepts, skills and knowledge, attitudes, and of course, action. And then we'll see how it all comes together to reach this really important goal: developing what they call international mindedness. Okay, so let's get our bearings. The entire PYP framework really stands on these 5 pillars: concepts, skills, knowledge, attitudes, and action. They are, quite literally, the building blocks for a whole new way of thinking about education. Now, what's so interesting, and I think this visual of the interlocking parts shows it really well, is how much they emphasize that these elements work together. This isn't some checklist where you do skills on Monday and attitudes on Tuesday. Nope. They're all woven together all the time, creating a learning experience that's really driven by a student's own curiosity.
All right, let's grab our first puzzle piece, concepts. Now, this is not about memorizing dates or formulas. This is all about understanding the big, powerful ideas that connect absolutely everything. It's the why behind the what.
The whole framework kicks off with this incredibly powerful question. Instead of asking, what facts do we need to drill into students' heads, it asks, what deep, meaningful understandings do we want them to carry with them for the rest of their lives? That is a huge shift in focus. And here they are, those big ideas. What's so cool is that these 8 concepts are basically like different lenses you can use to look at anything. So whether you're studying history, science, or art, you can look at it through the lens of causation. Why did this happen? Or maybe perspective. Whose story is being told here? This is what lets learning break free from the boundaries of traditional subjects. So, if concepts are the big ideas, how do students actually go about exploring them? Well, they're going to need a toolkit. And that's exactly where our next 2 elements, skills and knowledge, come in. This is such a crucial distinction. It's not enough to just know stuff. You've got to be able to do stuff with that knowledge. So the PYP is really focused on building both the how-to and the what-about of learning. Let's look at the do part. These are the practical, hands-on abilities every single learner needs. How do you think critically? How do you find information you can actually trust? How do you work with other people, get your ideas across clearly, and manage your own time? These aren't just for school. These are essential life skills. And here's the about part. These 6 themes give all that learning a context. These are huge, globally significant issues that every person, everywhere has to think about. Students get to explore these themes using those concepts and skills we just talked about. See? You can already feel how it all starts to connect. All right, so we've got the big ideas and the toolkit. But what about the actual person holding those tools? That brings us to our next piece of the puzzle, attitudes. This is all about the learner's mindset, their character, their heart. This question really gets to the core of it all. Education isn't just about making students smarter, it's about helping them become better human beings. What kind of person do we want this learner to become? Now, the really crucial thing here is that these aren't just nice words to put on a poster. They are actively taught and encouraged every day. You see things like curiosity and enthusiasm, which obviously fuel learning. But then you also see empathy, integrity, and respect, which are all about shaping how a student interacts with the world around them. This brings us to the final element, and honestly, it might be the most important one: action. This is where learning literally leaves the classroom and steps out into the real world. It's the end result of all those other pieces firing on all cylinders. Okay, so if a student has developed deep understanding, has all these practical skills, and has a positive mindset, what do they do with it? This question is really a call to purpose. It's about turning all that learning into a meaningful contribution. And taking action isn't just some one-off project. It's a whole thoughtful process. It starts by seeing positive action from the adults around them. It has to be voluntary and student-led, and it's always followed by reflection. The goal is for students to see a need and thoughtfully take the initiative to help their community. So we've put all 5 pieces of our puzzle on the table. What does the final picture actually look like? What's the ultimate goal of putting all of these elements together?
And there it is, the complete puzzle. You've got concepts, skills, knowledge, attitudes, and action all feeding into one central purpose: developing the PYP learner profile and this idea of international mindedness.
So what exactly is international mindedness? Well, it's not just about knowing where countries are on a map. According to the IB, it's really a way of being. It's a mindset that's embodied by a very specific set of attributes.
And here they are. This is the portrait of the learner that the PYP is trying to create: someone who is a curious inquirer, a principled thinker, a caring communicator. Every single one of these 10 attributes is a direct result of nurturing those 5 essential elements we just walked through. This is the goal, the finished product.
And that really leaves us with one big question, doesn't it? We've just walked through the blueprint, we've seen the 5 essential pieces of the puzzle that build this globally minded person, so you have to wonder, if these are the building blocks we're giving our youngest learners, what kind of world are they going to build for all of us?